Sun's up, got a good feeling today. Out here on the South Central Texas clay. Got this pride deep in my soul, watching all the calves grow. Yeah, this Mesquite land feels like home. It's the El Ranch where I want to roam.
Ranch for today. We're going to be doing a little bit on the Backroads County map. One of my favorites. I've played it on a couple of different versions now. Also going to be discussing some issues. Hate to call them giants issues, but issues the same. So one of the things that we'll just start off with that. How's that sound? So I'm going to be setting up a karting route for this field here while we're talking. But so I don't know how many of you were using the realistic livestock mod. I had grown, just to be very honest, I had grown rather fond of it. I really liked it, and I thought it really added something to the game. And I noticed that it had been taken off Mod Hub. That wasn't any big deal. I was playing with the version we had and everything, but I had noticed that it hadn't updated in a while, so I went on to Stefan's GitHub page. Arrow, excuse me. Wrong dude. Went on to Arrow's GitHub page, and he has a very prominent notice posted there. Pretty much that he's not doing any more development. He cites issues with giants, and I don't create, so I don't really have a dog in that fight anyway. But one of the things that makes this game so absolutely great is the fact that these creators can do some of the things that they do. You take in realistic weather too. Those were two of his things, and basically he stopped development on both of them. And as I say, he cites giants for that, and kind of I don't know, I shouldn't say upsetting, but it does make you think that if our creators are going to fail because giants makes it difficult for them to create for the game, really, where are we on that? So as players, you know, we have come to expect a certain level of autonomy, I guess is the easy way to put it. I don't know that it's the good way to put it, but it is the easy way. We've kind of had kind of an autonomy which allows us to do the things that we want to accomplish in the game. Oh, the creators, yes, Joe, the creators give giants a huge run, because the thing is they think outside the box. Giants, if Giants was running it, we would all be farming on German farms. I'm a firm believer in that is the case. And you know, that's really not what any of us want to do. I mean, the German ones and the Polish ones, and everybody wants their own stuff in the game. I get it. But end of the day, you've got these creators that are doing this stuff for free. And you've got these creators that are doing this stuff for free and keeping the game afloat. So, you know, and like I say, and doing it for free. So why in the world would you push them out like that? Sorry, I'm typing and I can't type and talk. But I mean, that's the gist of my. I won't say it's technically a complaint, but I mean, why in the world would you interfere with their ability to create? Now I get it, if it's something that's breaking the game, you have to police that stuff. But in this case, I can't see that he was doing anything that was a game breaking thing. I'm not, again, I'm gonna go back to I'm not a creator, but I am a avid player, let's say. And do I want this stuff to be available to me? Yeah, I do. One of the issues that I ran into today was that we had I had been using that so long, and I decided, since he's not going to do any updates to it, I needed to step away from that. And remove it from my system. Well, because of the level of mod that it was, it affected a lot of things. I lost pretty much all of my cattle because of it, and had to go back in and rebuild all my herds, which again, that's really, technically, that's really on me, because I should have been more aware of those changes, I guess is the way to put it. Still, it's frustrating to say the least. Set up here. Which there's some stuff here, so back to probably going to use my neck sets. I've already got this set up to harvest. have to them. And I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm doing that the hard way. When I have this right here, so I can do it. Where is he going? We don't want him to do that. And back around, being on the right track. Definitely doesn't need to go back into that barn. Not with that pipe out like that. We're gonna get these guys started, and then we're going to move on to some other things that we need to accomplish today. Didn't want to lose this field to do so. And turning loose. The other thing that I was going to discuss today was, so I don't know if any of you are playing with the Fed Action set or not, but they've updated to a 3.1 version. Well, they don't warn you about this, but the 3.1 version does not have a lot of the structures that the other versions have. So when you upload that into the game, you're going to lose when you start playing with that. You're going to lose all your silos that are Fed Action silos and have to replace them. So, and if you have stuff in them, you're going to lose all of that too. So luckily I have easy dev controls installed, and I kind of knew what I had in there. So I went in and put that stuff back. But when you're playing on four different maps like I am, now I have to go in and do that for all 4 of the maps that I use regularly, and that kind of sucks. But let's see where we're at on our crop. So we had this corn's ready to do. Had one cornfield that wasn't quite, wasn't quite ready, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to chat feed it. to the barn. Hmm. Here we go. Another thing that has come up is, and I don't seem to be having too much trouble, I had to actually change my door opener script because it wasn't this. So well, Louis. Yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and shut that off eventually. Maybe the other thing. Comes backing away from it, pull it back up, we'll do it. Let's see. Yeah, that'll have to be removed for dang sure. Oh. Maybe it's the front. Let's do it. Have to super strength it here. Wow. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, what a mess. So far I hadn't had any use for this thing, but I think I want to see if I can move that header with it. And under the headings of that's not the way you use this tool, and I really love this big X. I've used it for a long time on a bunch of different maps. But the dirt level and the fact that when you wash it, it washes all the paint off is, to say the least, frustrating. Yeah, so now you get to drive around in a chrome big X. And it never gets dirty again either. That's another thing. Wish they leave the paint on it. Counterclockwise. never used this Big X. It's actually a really cool tool. It saves you so much work on following around with the I need to run over there and look at those silage towers too. Oh, absolutely not sure how much. I am kind of jumping around the map today. Chaff and stuff. Ew. Wow. Probably I'll do some stuff over here for production. We'll get loaded up and stuff again. And I don't know why I was like that. butter, but it's all gotta go. One of the things that comes to mind as you play this game a lot of times, the fact that, like I am now, I'm out here doing production stuff, but real farmers are having to do this too. They're having to worry about their farm, and during the day, go work 9 to 5 just to make ends meet. You know, everybody seems to think that farmers are rich. I'll quite frank with you, I don't believe that that is the case. Don't get me wrong, there are rich farmers, but I think that is the norm, I guess. Out there working like everybody else, and if they don't make enough farming, and their only option is to gotta make it somewhere else. And I think this game, y'all call it a game, but I think this game actually is that low a little bit. Allows those that will see to actually see what's going on there, for these farmers. We all do it, I think. We all play with a certain level of cheat. Again, it's not the cheats. Farmers don't get those. That's us. I think we need to kind of step back a little and realize that. End of the day. Sorry, I get quiet when I get busy, guys. I mean, I would really like, I wish I had audience here to talk to, that assist and try to make people's gaming experience better. I was really hoping that at some point it does. My goal with this game has always been to, or this channel anyway, has always been to try to be informative as well as entertaining. I find that the entertaining part is probably me crashing into stuff, but unfortunately, if that's the entertaining part, that's it. Some of these trailers weren't working great prior to, but they seem to have gotten better. One of the things that I kind of got rid of is I had the RMC stiff belts on here. I had a lot of trouble with the stiff belt. Kind of, the easiest way I can think to say it is they were kind of letting things bounce around. It seems that they don't want to hold some of the stuff. I think it's that the belts aren't actually lining up with the product. So what we got is those that are not strapping, because they're too far to the front of the truck. Which you wouldn't think would be an issue, but the gating. What I will do is I will grab these off of here. That one maybe should. It's holdings. Got a couple of stops left by the oil plant this is one of FS Miner's trucks. Really, you know, the thing is there's a couple things about them that I don't care for. I don't like that you can't opt out of the logos, the badging on them. I really don't need a Viking head on the side of my. But as far as the function is really phenomenal. This stuff, and for it doesn't really matter which stuff it is. Good. Always like to give a shout out to people that are rocking it out there, and I'll be quite frank with you, he really does. I've been tinkering with Terraform now forever, and quite frankly, it is a phenomenal piece of code. I've been actually using his stuff with the Jay Weezy train sets. So the train sets will actually do your terrain. They'll actually modify your terrain for you. You don't have to go in with Terraform. But some of the things that you can do by blending those two tools together are just the sum is greater than the parts, I guess, is the way you can say it. Because again, it's a matter of being able to wait here for a minute, because these are nice because all I do is pull forward. I'll be able to take it. It's selling it. Quite frank about it. 66 raw pellets. 30 wood pellets. That's not. We're gonna go run through the mill right quick and see if they've got any pallets or anything. Take care of it. Get them off the platter. Oh, yeah. Check on our combine. Check on is the Backroad County deputy. Doesn't hit a car. Good looking ride though. I did some modifications on it. One of the things about this particular vehicle, the upper light bar just doesn't project. Compare it with the bottom one, and not enough. Guess that's the way to put it. That is B8. Look at the mod until you get it. Really not. Let's see. All sorghum. And E. Grab that other neck set. Because the next set has trouble with that bridge between here and there. Kind of have to drive it yourself. Again, a piece of equipment like this wasn't designed to go down these little roads. New chicken coop, the one that we initially were using, was part of that Fed Action pack that didn't get brought over well, and so when we uploaded it, we lost the big chicken. And so this is the Chicken Coop XXL off of the mod mode. If you're interested, we'll go take a look at it here closer in a minute. Let's get these guys started. We've been at it for about an hour now, a little less than an hour, but right at an hour, and probably going to go till 6:30 Central Standard Time. Just trying to get my timings worked out. I'd really like to start seeing some folks drop in, but so far that's not been the case. My moderator Joe is my audience too right now. And it's for information wise, the so that truck is actually unrealistic capacity, so he'll probably be able to shaft that whole field into that one truck. But back to the FS minor stuff, the J Weezy train. If you would want to drop in on that, we've been working on that on Fridays, and I'm trying to kind of push the limits as to what we can accomplish with that setup. Quite frankly, the J Weezy train is an amazing little piece of mod, and the only big drawback to it is the fact that if you look out the cab window of the train and you sneeze to the left, we'll blow it off of the track. And the thing is, it's not Jay Weezy's fault. It's kind of an interesting thing is that those engines in that mod weigh so much that take the big lever crane, and I actually modded a modded FS Miner's lifting bar so it would connect to the trains. Trains actually use fifth wheels. The fifth wheel connection is the connection that they're actually using to connect the wheels to the engines, and that's actually what you need to connect to with the crane. So modded the lifting bar that FS Miner has that uses a couple of different methods. It actually uses the bag lifter, and it also uses darn it, I can't think now, but it has a couple of methods built into it, but it doesn't connect using the fifth wheels. So what I did was I went in and I modded that and added a lifter that connects to that fifth wheel connection on either end of the crane bar. And by doing that, you can actually connect to the engine with something that the crane will pick up. The problem is the crane with the weights maxed completely out and cantilevered as far as you can cantilever them to the back, there's still not enough to counterbalance that engine. So, and if you pull the crane in all of the way, I do mean the boom needs to be all the way in. You can pick up an engine, but the thing is you can't rotate it or anything like that, so it's pretty useless other than it picked up an engine. So what I'm looking at now is I may actually try to do, again, I won't be putting any of these mods out just so everybody knows, but it's experimental with me, and I might tell somebody how I did it, but I will not be giving my version of any of this stuff. Is the other thing I'm thinking about doing, creating a counterweight that can be manually mounted to the front of the frame, because it'll pick it up. It's just not heavy enough to counterbalance. they don't know whether that'll work or not, but I don't have anything but time to try something like that, and I enjoy doing it, so I try. North Fuel Station map. I think it's really funny being from Texas that they've chosen Buc-ee's to be the implied bit for who these little couple of these little stations. None of you guys are screaming at the screen that I brought the wrong header, because I hope I didn't. Oh, I sent that truck back. Pretty. Think through these trees. Nice thing about the next ad is if you do get in a bind where you ice center, a lot of times you get yourself out by converting back to original. You can put it in work mode and get yourself out. But I just Cool. I know I probably say this every time I play with the Nexat on here, but it's important, is you always want to set the Nexat up at least on the headlands to be counterclockwise. For that cab sets, if you have trees at all around your field, you're gonna wind up in trouble. So with go with if we get out of the building. That's just Cheating McCheaterson that. Here we go. of a irritating. Where did the other truck? So much it doesn't get dirty anymore, Gary. I tend to keep my stuff set on stop and unload. It just makes life so much easier. kind of interesting. I tend to really like this little Eagle truck, Eagle semi, and I've never had a bit of trouble with this cabin. And I don't utilize it all the time, but I do use it more than now and then. It's almost always my backup. Once I get this sorghum off these two fields, I'm actually gonna let them go, sell them. Yeah. Kind of got so much stuff that I can't take care of everything the way I want. I'm wondering if that's not what happens to a lot of farmers. Keep adding property to keep up with it. Eventually you run out of money. Pumpkin. What? And this is when I grab my phone and learn German. It's plant protection. Water electric. Let's go ahead and start working on that. Or a water truck. Here. Although there have been, I noticed there's a brand new release of Auto Drive out on GitHub. Thank you. And one of the big improvements that I have noticed is they have actually changed the junction point color. Now instead of having to hunt for a junction, you can actually check that. But jump in a vehicle here a minute and show you. So always before you've only had the red, you've had blue, and the amber. But he's added, and I'm going to call it turquoise, that it are the junctions. So if you stop to think about it, the junctions are a really important point for the auto drive, because those are your points where you can change things going backwards or forwards or whatever, and actually change an entire route from those points. Pretty neat. One little simple change like that can just make such a big difference in the way gameplay works on something. Jump in a truck. Interesting. I need to get that turned off as soon as it's over. So, back to my discussion over the points in auto drive. I'm going to turn everything on. So if you'll notice, you have your red points, your yellow points, but they're a new set of turquoise or pale blue, whatever you want to call it. I call it turquoise. Points now, and those are your junctions. So let's say I want to change the direction of travel. That's my click point. And then I give my other one, and it'll actually reverse that course. Pretty cool. Makes it a lot easier to see. The only big plus to it, but it's going to make that a lot easier to do. Actually make changes. It'll track it. Come on, reset the record. I don't. You know. It is still doing. Not sure what was going on with that. Fix it. His parking spot. Well, guys, that's gonna kind of wrap it up for us today. I'm gonna go ahead and get the truck back to the shed, but we are out, and just know that we'll be back on Friday. Friday's gonna be on the 4X flat map, and we're going to be working with Jay Weezy's trains and Terraform in conjunction to try to make us have a really, really nice train set. So if you're interested in any of that, please stop by, hang out, visit with us for a minute. Got questions? Believe me, we'll answer everything we know, and if we don't know it, we'll make something up. Until Friday, this is El Ranch, and we're out.